How could you, Emily? This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, and you've ruined everything!
What?
After all the time I spent planning this perfect day, I can't believe you would do this to me!
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Why did you cancel last minute? Even if we're only in-laws, we're still sisters. How could you skip your husband's sister's wedding like that?
Wait a minute, I didn't cancel last minute. I never even RSVP'd. Don't just assume I was coming.
Are you serious? You think you need an RSVP for family? I had a place card made for you and everything. I even arranged the seating chart considering you. Do you know how much work that was?
You made those arrangements without even checking with me first? I never had any intention of attending.
What? It's a family wedding. Of course you're supposed to come. You don't need to RSVP to family weddings.
Excuse me?
You're my family now, even if you're just a sister-in-law. It's absolutely awful not to come to a relative's wedding. Everyone kept asking where you were. Do you know how embarrassing that was?
I don't attend strangers' weddings.
What?
Remember those words? That's exactly what you said to me before. That's why I didn't come to your wedding either.
What did you say? Are you bringing up ancient history right now, on my wedding day?
Even if we're sisters-in-law, we're just strangers in the end. There's no need to go to a stranger's wedding. Isn't that what you said, Sarah? That's why you canceled on mine and Jack's wedding 5 years ago, right?
Well, that was completely different. You can't compare those situations.
And what you did was even worse than what I did. You actually RSVP'd, yes! We prepared your seat and meal and everything, and then you canceled the day of. We had to pay for your meal that went to waste, you know.
So this is revenge for something that happened 5 years ago? You're still hung up on that?
It may have been 5 years ago, but I still remember how hurt I was. I wanted all our family, relatives, and friends to celebrate with us. But just having one person missing was enough to make me so depressed.
I had no choice back then. I had my reasons.
Reasons? You mean you just couldn't stand that I was getting married before you? You admitted yourself that you just got angry and canceled out of spite.
You don't understand how hard it was for me then. If something makes me angry, that's just how it is. Here, I was desperately trying to find someone, getting rejected 20 times in a row, and then my little brother and his girlfriend just casually get married. Of course, I couldn't bring myself to celebrate that.
Then you should have just said that and declined properly. Not RSVP yes and then cancel last minute. And you made all those excuses on the day too, saying our wedding looked too cheap to be worth attending.
Well, I was just upset. You can't hold words said in anger against me forever.
Every word you said hurt me deeply. When I finally learned it was just pure jealousy, I was too stunned to even respond. That's when I swore I'd never attend the wedding of someone who could do something like that.
But it was 5 years ago. People change. I've grown since then. I thought we could move past this and be real sisters now.
Then you should understand that what you did was unforgivable, even after all this time. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Fine, be that way. But don't think this is over. You'll regret treating family like this.
Family doesn't hurt family the way you hurt me.
Phew! My sister's wedding was exhausting. Heading home on the train now.
How bad was it? Sarah's been sending me angry messages all day.
It was something else. My feet are killing me from standing so long.
Thanks for going alone. I'm sorry. Even though you told me I could do whatever I wanted, you probably got an earful from Sarah because I didn't come, right?
No worries at all. She kept pretty quiet since there were other relatives and friends from the groom's side. Her death glares were scary, but she didn't say anything directly to me.
Oh, that's good then.
Though she did make a point of announcing to everyone that her dear sister-in-law couldn't make it.
She didn't.
But what really wore me out was the wedding itself. Who knew she'd do 5 dress changes? I've never been to a 5-hour wedding before.
What? It was that long? I just assumed you were late because you were helping out with stuff after it had finished.
Yes, 5 hours. You won't believe this. She had a different theme for each costume.
You're kidding.
Well, Sarah had always been obsessed with weddings. I knew she had a lot of specific ideas about her dream wedding, but I never thought she'd try to cram every single one of them in. They even did 3 different cake cutting ceremonies with different cakes.
That's kind of impressive, in a weird way.
The poor catering staff looked so confused. They had to wheel out a new cake every hour.
How did David handle all this?
I mean, if the couple was happy, that's what matters. But David looked completely exhausted.
Oh dear.
He barely smiled after the second hour, just kept checking his watch. But anyone would be. The newlywed's introduction video alone was 30 minutes long. It's so embarrassing to make your parents and friends watch a half-hour video about how you met and fell in love. Most of us already know anyway.
That's practically a TV episode.
Yeah, and Sarah made everyone watch the entire thing before dinner was brought out.
No wonder people were tired.
This must have been my sister going completely overboard on her own. Otherwise, the groom wouldn't have looked so miserable.
Oh, Sarah.
By the end, everyone looked tired, not just the groom. Some of his relatives were even falling asleep and snoring.
That's kind of sad.
One of his uncles started snoring during the third cake cutting. Sarah was furious. I nearly dozed off a few times myself. Plus, I'm starving. The food was good, but there wasn't nearly enough. It was a tiny serving on a plate, like the kind you get in fancy restaurants.
Then hey, want to grab some burgers? I just finished work and was thinking of heading home early.
That sounds perfect. I'm dying for a cheeseburger.
Let's meet at the station then. I'm leaving now.
Wait a sec. I just got a message from David. Says he needs to talk.
At this hour, right after his wedding, shouldn't they be on their way to their honeymoon?
Yeah, something's off. Probably better take this call, right?
Yeah, I wonder what he needs to talk about right after the wedding. Go ahead and take the call. I'll wait.
His messages sounded really stressed. This might be serious.
Take your time. I'll grab us a table at the burger place.
Thanks. I'll head to the station as soon as I'm done.
Hope everything's okay with David.
Emily, I've decided I'm going to sue you for damages. You're going to pay for my entire wedding since you ruined it.
What? The entire cost? And what do you mean, sue for damages? What did I do?
Do you know how expensive this wedding was? And it's all ruined because of you. I'll send you the full bill. You better be prepared to pay every cent.
Are you out of your mind? I wasn't even there.
Thanks to you, yesterday's wedding was a disaster, so you're going to take responsibility.
Because of me?
Yeah, you have no idea how much work I put into this wedding.
Can you explain why it's my fault?
I was watching the wedding video last night. Everyone looked so bored. I was shocked. I worked so hard for my once-in-a-lifetime wedding. I put my heart and soul into it, and everyone looked miserable because of you.
What? How is that my fault? I'll say this again. I wasn't even there.
Exactly. The mood was ruined because you didn't come. The empty seat at the family table was so embarrassing.
Huh?
Everyone probably felt awkward and couldn't enjoy themselves because a family member of the bride was missing. My wedding was ruined, and it's all your fault. Even David's family kept asking why you weren't there.
No way. That has nothing to do with me. Your wedding was just boring, that's all.
What did you say? How dare you call my perfect wedding boring?
I heard all about yesterday's wedding from Jack. The ceremony and reception lasted 5 hours. That's longer than a Lord of the Rings movie. Of course everyone was tired.
That's not true. I carefully planned everything so people wouldn't get bored, and I didn't cut any corners with the food and drinks. Actually, I condensed what should have been a full day into just 5 hours.
Wait, it was supposed to be even longer?
Of course! I had to cut out the Dove release and the third musical performance.
The third performance? How many... Huh? Doves?
So, it's definitely your fault that yesterday's wedding was such a flop. You're still getting revenge for something that happened 5 years ago. Your nasty personality ruined my precious wedding, so take responsibility and pay for the whole thing.
The only one who needs to pay is you, Sarah. Stop embarrassing me, will you?
Huh? Jack? Why are you butting into our conversation?
I had to take over because I couldn't stand watching anymore. Sarah, you're being absolutely ridiculous. How does Emily skipping the wedding mean she has to pay for all of it?
Because she didn't come. Her absence is why my wedding wasn't fun. You were there. You saw how dead the atmosphere was. My wedding turned out like that because of Emily.
That's not it. Your wedding was boring because it was 5 hours long. Stop trying to blame Emily for something that's clearly your fault.
How can you say that to your own sister?
I'm just saying the truth.
What? Are you saying my dream wedding was boring?
And now you're trying to extort money from her. Is it because you didn't get as much in the wedding gifts as you expected? What are you thinking? Emily isn't your personal ATM.
How dare you say that, Jack? That's not why I'm asking for money. I just want Emily to take responsibility. You have no idea how much this wedding meant to me.
Are you still going with that ridiculous excuse?
Okay, maybe 5 hours was a bit long, but I tried really hard to make it entertaining.
Where exactly was the entertainment? Our 30-minute introduction video? 5 costume changes? You just crammed in everything you wanted to do without even asking David's opinion.
What? That's not true. David loved all my ideas.
David told me everything. Apparently he was totally against this 5-hour wedding, but you wouldn't budge an inch, so he gave up. You just bulldozed ahead with everything you wanted.
That's not true. We discussed everything and made decisions together. Every time I showed him my plans, he said okay.
Discussion means exchanging constructive opinions. What you did was throw hysterical crying fits until David gave up and let you have your way.
How do you know all this? Have you been talking behind my back with my husband?
I told you, I heard everything from David. He called me after the wedding, saying he needed someone to talk to, and he spent ages venting about you.
What?
David was really at his limits. He said he got so tired of arguing that he just told you to do whatever you wanted. But he never thought it would turn out this badly. He said he's completely broken and regrets everything.
Regrets? How dare he say that about a wedding where the bride worked so hard to make things perfect?
No, you're wrong. You're the one who made the groom say those things.
What?
I heard no matter how many times he tried to convince you to reduce the number of costume changes or shorten the time, you wouldn't listen. In the end, the wedding cost ballooned to nearly triple the budget.
Well, the extra expenses were worth it for my special day.
But you said you paid for all the extra costs yourself, right? Originally, the wedding was supposed to cost $20,000, with each of you paying $10,000, but it ended up with you having to pay $50,000. But you didn't actually have enough savings, did you? You were counting on the wedding gifts, but when the gifts were only half what you expected, you freaked out and tried to get David to cover the extra cost at the last minute.
But I didn't expect them to be so stingy. I told everyone it was going to be a fancy wedding, so I thought they'd give at least $1,000 each in wedding gifts. If they had, we would have had enough.
Nobody gives $1,000 as a wedding gift. Nobody asked you to make it so extravagant. You did that on your own. Made it 5 hours long, and now you're trying to squeeze money out of people?
Squeeze money? That's not... I just wanted my perfect wedding.
I know you've always dreamed of your perfect wedding, Sarah. I understand you want to include all your special touches, but a wedding should have a smiling groom next to you. You need to get your head straight. You're seriously going to get dumped at this rate.
What?
David told me yesterday. After complaining about the wedding for ages, he said, I know it's too late, but I'm wondering if I should even be married.
What? He can't mean that. We just got married.
David said he would have been fine with any kind of wedding as long as everyone enjoyed it, even if it wasn't really exactly what he wanted. That dead atmosphere yesterday with everyone looking bored, and then you trying to blame it on your sister-in-law, making a fuss about not getting enough gift money? He said his love for you just died right there.
That can't be true. We just got married yesterday.
But the bride's behavior was so awful, what else could he do? I heard you gave him the death stare when he refused to cover the extra cost, and you even said you tried to squeeze some money out of your sister-in-law to make up for it.
Well, I was just panicking about the costs.
I won't let you do that. First, you need to talk with your husband about your future. You don't have time to be harassing Emily.
What?
Good luck not getting divorced.
Please, Emily, please help convince David.
Huh?
I really need your help now. Everything's falling apart. After that, David told me, he said, I'm sorry this is right after the wedding, but I want a divorce. I don't want to be married to you anymore.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Please, you have to help me. You're the only one who might understand. He said I completely turned him off. He said, your obsession with weddings was cute and girly at first, but you took it way too far and it got scary. And apparently, relatives and friends complained about how long it was too. He said he can't stay married after being embarrassed like that. Everyone's taking his side, even my own family.
Wow, it really was worse than I imagined. I'm glad I didn't go after all.
How can you say that? This is serious. But don't you think it's understandable? I've dreamed about my wedding since I was a little girl. I had so many things I wanted to include. As another woman, you must understand that, right?
Well, I guess I can understand to some extent. I had my own particular wishes too, like getting my dress from that specific boutique across town.
See? Right? That's just how girls are. You understand. Every girl has her dream wedding planned. That's why I need you to explain this to David.
What?
You can tell him from a woman's perspective. Make him understand. Tell him how important and special weddings are to women. I know I went a bit overboard, but it's not worth getting divorced over. Please, talk to him.
If you really want me to talk to him, I will. But I'm going to tell him everything, including why I didn't attend.
What? You wouldn't dare bring that up now.
I can definitely talk about how special weddings are to women, but that's exactly why I'm going to tell him how you ruined mine. If you're okay with that, I'll help.
Of course that's not okay. What are you thinking? If he finds out about that, he'll hate me even more. Please, just help me without mentioning the past.
I see. So you haven't told him the real reason I didn't attend. You just told him your rude sister-in-law canceled, didn't you?
Well, I couldn't tell him everything. He wouldn't understand.
Well, I guess you had to do that. If you told him the truth, he'd probably want to divorce you even more. Actually, he might want to divorce you faster.
Listen, couldn't you try convincing him without mentioning that part? I'll apologize for canceling on you 5 years ago. Now that I'm in the same position, I understand how painful it is when family members don't show up. I really am sorry about your wedding. I was just in a bad place then.
Oh, now you're apologizing after 5 years.
But please try to understand my situation. Like I said before, I was frustrated after being rejected 20 times while dating. That's why I canceled. I mean, I didn't have any bad intentions. I was just hurting and jealous. You can understand that, right?
This is exactly your problem, Sarah. This is why you're getting divorced.
What? What do you mean?
You lash out at people around you because of your own issues. Drag them into your problems. Pick fights. You never consider other people's feelings. Yet, you think everyone should forgive you just because you explain your circumstances. David's probably sick of this shallowness, and that's why he decided to divorce you. This isn't even about the wedding anymore.
I'm not shallow. I just want people to understand me.
I get it now. Even if I tried to convince him, it would be pointless. David won't change his mind about the divorce, so I'll have to decline helping you.
Are you serious? You're okay with me getting divorced? After I just apologized for everything?
Why not? After all, you're just a stranger to me, so it's none of my business what happens to you.
What? How can you be so cruel? I thought we could finally move past everything.
That's right. Sarah, I'll be going now. Good luck trying to convince him on your own.
Emily, please, don't leave me like this.
Goodbye, Sarah. Sarah tried desperately to convince her husband David, but he wouldn't listen at all, saying, "Sorry, but I really can't do this anymore." In the end, not only their parents, but even her brother Jack took David's side. And Sarah found herself being the one getting lectured by everyone. She finally signed the divorce papers in tears and had to pay for the entire cost of her 5-hour dream wedding herself. She had to return all the wedding gifts and ended up not just with 0 savings, but completely broke after selling all her personal belongings. I heard the shock of getting divorced